Hello everyone, welcome to Anuj Jindal, welcome to RBI 247 session. Tell me is everything is fine with the audio and the video so that we can start with the session. Let me introduce myself. My name is Davinder. I am your finance mentor who takes finance classes, finance current affair classes on Tuesday, Thursday and Saturdays. Till then, good evening everyone. Good evening Yukti, good evening Monica, good evening Shreya, good evening Abhishek, good evening Artistic. Uh, Good evening Arpan. Good evening, Kuldeep. Okay, great. Okay, thanks for the confirmation. I think we can start with the session. Let's begin with our session. Okay, so our we have two news in this session. The first one is again very famous, that is Financial Inclusion Index for the March 2025. So we have this latest values for the Financial Inclusion Index. In this, we are going to understand what is financial inclusion, why it is important for the economy. Then we will also understand what is Financial Inclusion Index, what are the broader parameters under this, and what is the actual numbers that we have to remember for the exam point of view. Then we have one draft regulation that is being issued by the RBI regarding the digital banking channels. Okay, now basically they are the criteria, eligibility criteria, authorization that is being given by the RBI regarding the same. We are going to understand that in a very simple way. Let's just begin with our first news, that is Financial Inclusion Index for March 2025. So before we get into the concept of Financial Inclusion Index, I think we should understand the basics of what do we mean by the financial inclusion. I know many of you are well aware of the concept that what do we mean by financial inclusion. So let's have a quick look over it. So basically financial inclusion is nothing but it gives a individual and a business to access the basic financial services in a very affordable way that is accessible to that particular individual or that particular business as per their requirement and their need. So that we can say that all say such things that are contributing, they are contributing towards the benefit of such individual and businesses in their financial management, right? So all these things are a part of your financial inclusion. We have to make our basic financial services affordable and accessible for each and every individual, right? Now why financial inclusion is important for the economy, right? Now this is the biggest question, and many of the things that we are going to discuss in this we can say session, you can write this in your descriptive answers as well, right? So once you have this basic concept regarding the financial inclusion, you can also write the importance of financial inclusion for the economic growth. Okay, so our first importance is that the financial inclusion boost the economic growth. Why? Because a individual or a person, whenever they go to access the basic financial services like opening a bank account, like accessing a insurance, like availing a credit availability, they are somehow getting cash in their hand, right? So whatever money they have, they will either invest it or they will save it or they will make expenditure out of it, right? So that brings a lot of what activity, economic activity in the country, that further improves the GDP and economic growth, right? So this also boosts the investment. Many of the individual or the businesses would like to take that loan in order to invest in some kind of business, right? That is again a part of your economic growth. Apart from this financial inclusion reduces the inequality between the rich and poor locality, right? Because the rich person and the poor person are getting the same amount of loan at the same interest rate, right? So there is no inequality whenever they are accessing financial services, right? So this also reduces the inequality. What about the poverty? Why? This financial inclusion also reduces the poverty. How? Because this brings money in the hand of people. Like government are unable to give direct benefit transfer to the individual now. Earlier there were some kind of leakages that used to happen. Then they were giving the benefits to the individual, to the beneficiary in a physical cash form. They were bringing a lot of leakages in the system. They were bringing a lot of corruption in the system. But with this financial inclusion, we can say services, or we can say concept, we can say that this brings a lot of money in the hand of individual, that reduces the poverty in India as well, right? What else? This also brings digital cashless economy. A person who visits bank branches, who are aware of the bank financial services, they would like to go for a, they will get familiar with the basic, we can say, cashless transactions and the digital transactions that used to happen. They will get aware of how, we can say, safe it is to make a transaction in a digital form, right? What else? They will not go for a informal credit sources, right? Informal credit sources charges higher interest rate if we compare it with the formal banking system, and their harsh recovery method is also very bad, right? So they will not automatically go for a, we can say, informal credit. They will wave away from such kind of credit, right? What else? It empowers the women, right? Women are the one who majority of the contribution are made by the women in the upbringing of the upcoming generation, right? When they have this financial management, when they have the power of managing the finances of the house, they can take care of their child, they can take care of their houses, they can take care of their, we can say, child's education as well, right? So this is somehow, we can say, is empowering a woman in making a decision making in their own house regarding the finances, right? So this also brings a lot of empowerment in women as well. The financial awareness and literacy is one of the major, we can say, component in the financial inclusion. Why? Because banks also promote financial awareness with the individual or the businesses. One example that we can take in here is that bank often, we can say, give advices related to some facilities, some government schemes that are there, that is beneficial for the individual, such as Manrega. We all know what about, we all know about the Manrega, wherein 100 days of full employment is provided to the individual, to the labor, right? So that they can earn the money, right? Now such kind of initiative can, banks can make person aware with, right? So this financial inclusion, the concept of this financial inclusion brings a lot of financial literacy to the individual, right? This brings a lot of financial awareness, that how you need to securitize your account, how you need to keep your account number, your OTP private as well, right? So all such things are a part of your financial awareness and literacy. I hope you get to know that why financial inclusion is important for our economy, right? Now, this financial inclusion also promotes in sustainable development goal. Why? Because all these goals are one of the, we can say, 7 goals of sustainable development goals, and financial inclusion helps in attaining or supporting such goals. So we can say financial inclusion indirectly supports the sustainable development goals of the country as well. I hope the financial inclusion, अगर इसके ऊपर descriptive में question आ जाता है, you will be able to write good amount and qualitative content on it. Okay, तो ये भी हमने एक perspective देख लिया that what is financial inclusion, why it is important for the economy, and what exactly we are looking forward with the concept of financial inclusion when we are discussing in the context of the economy's growth, right? Okay, let's come to the Financial Inclusion Index. So basically, this is an index that was released by the RBI in 2021. Right? In one of their MPC, they announced this, that we are going to launch the Financial Inclusion Index. This is an index that shows a score. It shows a number that says that what is the, we can say, position or level of our financial inclusion of the country, right? So right now we have the data of March 2025. So basically RBI released the data regarding the financial inclusion index. Now as per this index, as per this current index, it says that we have made an improvement in the financial inclusion of our country. It says that we have improved. If we compare it with the March 2024, the score was 64.2. But now in March 2025, the score has improved to 67. So we can say that yes, the financial inclusion level of the economy have improved, right? So first thing that you have to remember in this is the previous year's data and this year's data, so that you can compare that whether the thing have improved or not, right? First thing. Then second thing, that it is being improved, right? Let's just remember few more things about the basic financial inclusion index, right? First, it is being launched by the RBI, first launched in 2021. It is released in every July of every year, right? There are three broad parameters based on which this financial inclusion index is determined. Okay, first is access. That means how easy it is for a person or an individual or a businessman to access such kind of services. Such kind of services, that means, I mean with that is financial products, financial services. Are they accessible easily? Do I have a good amount of bank branches or good amount of ATMs around myself? So if that is possible for me, I can access the basic financial services across my area, within my perimeters. Then yes, these are the, we can say, good points. Then we say usage. What do I mean with usage? Suppose there is a lot of, we can say, Jan Dhan Yojana bank accounts that are being opened by the government, but people are not using such accounts, right? They are not going there, they are not keeping their money in it. So what is the we can say use of such opening account, right? So usage is not there. So we can say that one important parameter of this financial inclusion index is usage. If people are using more and more financial services, are they using their debit card? Are they using their credit card? Are they visiting the ATM branches, or we can say, are they visiting the bank branches? Are they doing any kind of we can say internet banking, mobile banking? Are they doing such thing? So all such things are a part of your usage. If that is a good one, we can say yes, the financial inclusion is good in our economy. Then we have quality. What is the quality of the financial product that you are getting? If you have any kind of complaint regarding the financial services or a financial product, are your complaints are being resolved by the regulated entity or not, right? Is the process of this grievance redressal is easy for you? Is it customer friendly or not? All such things are included whenever we talk about the quality of such financial inclusion index. Okay, so one thing that you have to remember is their weightages. Excess have a 35% weightage in the whole financial inclusion index. Then we have usage. It has 45% of weightage in the financial inclusion index. And then lastly, the least one have 20% of the weightage of quality in the financial inclusion index. First thing that you have to remember in this, that the highest weightage is with the usage parameter, and the lowest one is with the quality parameter of 20%. And 35% किसका है? Excess का है. So you can expect a question in either way, सच एज 45% किस कौन से पैरामीटर का वी कैन से कौन से पैरामीटर का वो है वेटेज है. सो यूसेज इज द वन. या फिर कह सकते हैं सबसे लीस्ट वेटेज किस पैरामीटर को दी गई है? क्वालिटी को दी गई है. सो दिस काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस मे केम अप इन योर एग्जामिनेशन, सो यू मस्ट बी अवेयर ऑफ सच थिंग. देन प्रीवियस ईयर का डेटा जो हमारे पास मार्च 2024 का है, दिस इज 64.2. रिमेंबर, इट इज नॉट अ परसेंटेज, इट इज नॉट कंपेयरिंग विद एनी ऑफ द बेस ईयर. फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन इंडेक्स का कोई बेस ईयर नहीं होता. रिमेंबर दिस थिंग, हमेशा याद रखना है, फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन इंडेक्स का कोई बेस ईयर नहीं होता है. एवरी ईयर वी जस्ट कैलकुलेट द लेवल ऑफ फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन इन अवर इकोनॉमी, राइट? वी डू नॉट कंपेयर इट विद द बेस ईयर. सच एज सीपीआई या फिर डब्ल्यूपीआई का अगर हम देखते हैं तो दे हैव अ बेस ईयर. फॉर एग्जाम्पल से 100 इज देयर बेस ईयर, राइट? सो वी कंपेयर इट with the current we can say year, right? But in this case, that is financial inclusion index, there is no base year, right? So current data क्या है? 67.0. ये आपको याद रखना है till your examination. फेज 2 में भी आ सकता है, फेज 1 में भी आ सकता है, और अगर डिस्क्रिप्टिव में आ गया है देन यू विल हाईलाइट सच डेटा कि अभी करंट लेवल क्या है हमारे फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन का, राइट? देन व्हाट इज द रीजन? ये रीजन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. लास्ट ईयर हमारे रीसेंट एग्जाम में फेज 2 में पूछा गया था व्हाट इज द रीजन फॉर सच फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन इंप्रूवमेंट. तो पिछली बारी यूसेज था, इस बारी भी क्या है? यूसेज एंड क्वालिटी, यानी कि बोथ द क्वालिटी ऑफ द फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन, या फिर हम कह सकते हैं फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज हैव इंप्रूव्ड एंड द यूसेज ऑफ द फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज एंड प्रोडक्ट हैव इंप्रूव्ड, एंड दैट इज द रीजन द होल फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन इंडेक्स हैव इंप्रूव्ड. ठीक है, तो ये दो चीज जरूर याद रखेंगे, दैट व्हाट इज द रीजन होल the usage and the quality parameter have improved, right? And what is the other reason? They are saying the all sub indices have witnessed a growth. That means they are not saying that कि excess ने कोई growth, excess parameter में कोई growth नहीं नजर आई है. No, ग्रोथ उसमें भी नजर आई है, पर मेजरली ज्यादा से ज्यादा ग्रोथ किस में नजर आई है? यूसेज और क्वालिटी में. तो आप ये याद रखेंगे. हाउएवर ऑल द सब इंडिसेस हैव witnessed a growth. However, the usage and the quality have the major reason why we are witnessing a high growth in the financial inclusion index. ठीक है, यहां तक सब क्लियर है? आपको ये पेज अच्छे से याद रखना है. It will be useful for you for the examination. I have put we can say table here regarding the same. अगर आपको पिछले साल का भी डेटा देखना है then you have here. आप सोच रहे होंगे 2021 में तो रिलीज ही हुआ है, लॉन्च ही हुआ है, तो 2017 का डेटा क्यों दे रखा है? Why? Because RBI ने रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव डेटा कलेक्ट किया था फॉर द फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन इंडेक्स फॉर द ईयर 2017. तो इन्होंने इसकी भी फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन इंडेक्स निकाला था फॉर द ईयर 2017. तो कंफ्यूज नहीं होना. तो हमारे पास 2017 का भी डेटा है अलॉन्ग विद 2021. ठीक है. देन आई हैव टोल्ड यू कि बेस ईयर नहीं होता. रिमेंबर, इसे याद रखना है. हर एक इंडेक्सेस को, हर एक पैरामीटर को we have to, we can say, scale it on a scale of 0 to 100. So basically on a scale of 0 to 100 we are going to check what is the stage at which this particular parameter stands. Suppose this excess stand at this, or quality parameter stands at this, or usage stands at this. So combining all such things, considering their weightage, the financial inclusion index number or score is being determined. 0-1 shows that there is a exclusion. That means there is no, we can say there is a worst kind of level of financial inclusion. There is exclusion of the financial services, right? If I talk about 100 score mean that there is a inclusion. That means there is full inclusion, and we are focusing on this, or we are targeting at this 100 percentage, or we can say this 100 score, that we need to reach at this level where our financial products and services are easily, affordably available to each and every citizen of India, whether it is in the rural area, hilly area, or it is in any kind of locality, or we can say segment of people, right? Then it's very important to discuss the Antardrishti dashboard as well, because this is the dashboard that was released by the RBI on June 2023. So basically what happened, this was again introduced by the RBI in order to check the financial inclusion. So basically this dashboard checks the exclusion areas of the financial inclusion so that they can work on such weaker part and improve their financial inclusion. So we can say this example or this initiative you can also highlight in your descriptive answer. So I have put it here. A brief introduction is there so that you can understand what exactly this Antardrishti is, right? Okay. Now what are the causes of such financial exclusion? क्या barriers हैं that individual faces, that companies faces whenever it comes to the financial inclusion? So first is lack of surplus income. Many of the individuals says that they do not have money in their hand, right? So what would they do by opening an account? So this is the first major barrier, that people do not have money in their hand, they do not have job in their hand, and that is the reason they don't want to access these financial services. Not suitable for customers' requirement. Many of the customers says that we do not need a insurance, we do not need a health insurance, car insurance, right? So they do not understand the value of such insurance in their life, how they can manage such risk, right? So do not understand, because of this poor financial literacy, poor lack of awareness, they do not understand their requirement or their need in a very appropriate way. Then we have lack of requisite documents. Suppose they do not have a document that supports, or we can say that helps in opening an account, right? We have also discussed these barriers in one of our previous session as well, right? Lack of trust on the system. They do not believe in banking system. They say that what if that banks bankrupts, right? So what will happen to our money, right? Such kind of lack of trust is there among the individuals. What else? High transaction cost. we all know that we have some kind of cost that is associated with the ATM transactions as well, something related to our account management as well, that we have to keep a minimum amount of balance in the account, right? All such things are kind of high transaction costs that are there with the individual. Now they find it very high and do not find it very interesting for themselves. That is the reason they are not going for such accounts opening or financial inclusion things. Then we have remoteness of service providers. Many of the service providers are not providing in areas such as rural areas, in hilly areas. Now that is the reason they don't want to go like 2-3 kilometers away from their home and to get their bank account open. So that is again very uncomfortable for the individuals as well and for the companies as well. Then we have poor quality of services that are being rendered. People are generally not satisfied with the services that are being provided by the banks. If they are not satisfied, how will they come back again with for any kind of services like financial product or financial services? If they are not satisfied with the insurance or with the banking services, how will they go for a credit availability, right? So such kind of problems are there, or you can highlight such we can say problems regarding the financial inclusion in your descriptive answers as well. So I'm covering this we can say news from the both perspectives, that is from the objective perspective as well and from the descriptive perspective as well, right? So you have enough content with you if this comes in 15 or 10 marker, right? So this says that financial inclusion somehow supports the sustainable development goal as well. So that I have explained you earlier. Okay, so this was the we can say our first news regarding the financial inclusion index. Let's just come to the second news, which is the draft direction. ठीक है, अब इसे समझते हैं. Basically RBI ने क्या issue किया है? It has released a draft direction as a significant step towards the standardizing and regulating the growing digital banking ecosystem. Now we will understand this, that we know that we understand that people now are using a lot of digital we can say transaction. They are going for mobile banking, they are going for internet banking, and for all such things bank provides some kind of interface, they provide some kind of internet facility, they provide some kind of we can say apps so that the person or the company can make the transaction digitally, right? Now how these banks need to have some kind of compliances regarding the RBI rules. तो वो RBI rules क्या हैं for those kind of banks who are providing such services to the individual and the businesses. ठीक है, अब कोई बैंक है वो पहले से नहीं प्रोवाइड करवाता कोई इंटरनेट बैंकिंग सर्विसेज या फिर उनकी कोई मोबाइल ऐप नहीं है इससे पहले, पर अभी उन्होंने नया नया रिलीज किया है. फॉर दैट व्हाट दे हैव टू कंप्लाई, उनके लिए कौन कौन से नए रूल्स हैं एज पर दिस ड्राफ्ट डायरेक्शन. एक चीज हम यहाँ पर याद रखेंगे दैट दिस इज अ ड्राफ्ट डायरेक्शन, दे आर नॉट बीइंग फाइनलाइज्ड येट, बट एज पर द डायरेक्शन इट सेज वंस दीज डायरेक्शंस आर फाइनलाइज्ड दे विल बी वी कैन से इफेक्टिव फ्रॉम दैट डेट ओनली. ओके, from the date of issuance only. ठीक है, तो अब हम देखते हैं under what section these are being issued. So these are being issued under section 35 and section 56 of the Banking Regulation Act of 1949. First thing, then RBI is also inviting the comments and the feedback from the stakeholders so that they can improve such direction in case there is some kind of loopholes is there, right? So let's just come to the direction directly. So basically first we need to understand that there are two kind of banking facility. One is view only digital banking facility and the other is transactional banking facility. Transactional banking facility क्या है? वो banking facility जिसके through the person or the company can make the transaction. वो facilitate कर रहे हैं वो transaction की वो receive कर सके, वो send कर सके अपनी transactions को, right? Now this is a part of transactional banking facility. Right? Now there is another kind of facility which is view only, wherein the person can just view. They cannot make any kind of we can say payment, they cannot receive any payment using such internet banking and using such mobile apps. They are just there for view only. They can see their data, they can see their account, they can see the balance that are there, but they cannot do any kind of transaction with the use of such facility. Okay, so there are two bifurcation of banks. One is view only digital banking facility and another is transactional banking facility. I hope it is clear. Now for both of them they have have a different eligibility criteria. We are going to understand what exactly these are. Okay, so the first one is, the first eligibility criteria for view only digital banking facility is that they must have a core banking solution. उनके पास एक कोर बैंकिंग सोल्यूशन होना चाहिए. कोर बैंकिंग सोल्यूशन क्या होता है? इट इज अ सेंट्रल सिस्टम, सेंट्रलाइज सिस्टम होता है wherein all the bank branches are connected with it. Even if the person goes to any other branch, they will be able to make their, we can say, transaction. They can get any kind of we can say facility. They can do they can submit the check as well. They can have a, we can say, deposit the money as well. So this happens, or this is facilitated because of such centralized system. So first requirement is that the bank must have a core banking solution with them, so that the individual have that service that they can go to any branch to access the basic financial services. First thing is this. Then they must have a public facing IT infrastructure that must be capable of internet protocol version 6. Now this is the latest version of internet protocol that must be there with the bank, so that they can give a real-time information to their individuals or their borrowers. Okay, now they must have such we can say infrastructure, IT infrastructure structure, so they can support the system. They can support the system and they can give the facility that they are aiming to provide. Then we have post-launch regulatory reporting. What they are saying after you have launched your this facility, what you have to do two things. Once you have to give the information regarding the same to your RBI regional office within 30 days of the launch, that we have launched such thing. And you also have to submit a report named as gap assessment and internal control adequacy. देखिए अब आपको इसके नाम से ही समझ में आ जाएगा what exactly this report is. The first one says the gap assessment. If there is any kind of weakness is there in the banking system, if there is any kind of missing point in such banking system, that assessment will be done by the bank and report regarding the same will be sent to the RBI regional office. First thing. Then we have internal control adequacy. क्या उनका internal control अच्छा है? Are their cyber security is good? Are their internet quality is good? Are they able to provide such IT infrastructure to their individual? All such things regarding the, we can say, the report regarding the same will be provided to the RBI regional office. Okay? Then there would be inspection regarding the same. RBI may review or inspect the process as well if they think so that it is required. Then we have eligibility criteria for the transactional banking facility. अगर you have to go for a transactional banking facility देना चाहते हैं आप अपने individuals को, अपने depositors को, so first thing is that you need a approval from RBI. RBI से आपको इसके लिए specifically approval चाहिए रहेगा, जो कि पिछले केस में नहीं था. पिछले केस में RBI का अप्रूवल नहीं चाहिए, but in this case you need to have a RBI का अप्रूवल. You need a prior permission from the RBI regarding the same. And how will you take that permission? Again, प्रवाह पोर्टल हम बहुत बारी इसके बारे में डिस्कस कर चुके हैं. आई होप आपको क्लैरिटी होगी कि प्रवाह पोर्टल से हम क्या करते हैं. सो बेसिकली जो बैंक्स होते हैं उनको किसी भी तरह की ऑथराइजेशन चाहिए होती है, अप्रूवल चाहिए होता है. दिस इज अ पोर्टल थ्रू विच दे अप्लाई फॉर द एप्लीकेशन. ठीक है, and all such applications are being, we can say, applied. They can also check the status of their application. All such things are provided at that one single portal. तो अगर आपको नहीं पता प्रवाह पोर्टल क्या है तो एक बार आप पढ़ लेंगे अपने स्टैटिक पोर्शन में से. दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, राइट. Then we have condition to be met for the application. ठीक है, आपने eligibility criteria देख लिया, that what you have to do if you want to go for a transactional banking facility or view only banking facility. ठीक है, अब आपको अप्लाई करना है. अप्लाई करने के लिए भी there is a particular kind of conditions. अगर आप अप्लाई करने जा रहे हैं, what you have to have. First is CBS core banking system. IT सिस्टम सपोर्टिव होना चाहिए और आपके पास इंटरनेट प्रोटोकॉल वर्जन 6 होना चाहिए टू सपोर्ट द IT इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. बेसिक है. आगे देखते हैं. यू मस्ट वी कैन से कंप्लाई विद द CRAR रूल ऑफ द RBI. ठीक है, आपका CRAR जो आप मेंटेन करते हैं, दैट यू हैव टू मेंटेन विद योरसेल्फ. व्हाट एल्स? यू मस्ट हैव अ नेटवर्थ एटलीस्ट ऑफ 50 करोड़. 50 करोड़ की आपने नेटवर्थ होनी चाहिए. और द रेगुलेटरी मिनिमम विच एवर इज हायर एज ऑफ March 31. जो रेगुलेटरी आपकी रिक्वायरमेंट है एज पर द RBI, उन दोनों में से जोन सी भी हायर होगी, दैट वुड बी देयर फॉर द previous financial year, for the current financial year for such application. Okay, I hope it is clear. आगे देखते हैं, बैंक must have enough financial and technical resources. उनके पास अच्छा technical और financial resources होना चाहिए so that they can facilitate what they are aiming at. Then they must have to give a 5-year report. उनको एक 5-year रिपोर्ट देनी पड़ेगी टू द आरबीआई रिगार्डिंग व्हाट इज देयर एक्सपेक्टेड कॉस्ट, अगर वो ये फैसिलिटी देते हैं, व्हाट इज देयर अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ फंड, उनका कॉस्ट और बेनिफिट एनालिसिस क्या है, अगर कोई थर्ड पार्टी सर्विस प्रोवाइडर है तो उसके बारे में सारी डिटेल देंगे, व्हाट इज देयर टेक्नोलॉजी प्लान, हाउ दे आर गोइंग टू प्रोवाइड इट, स्किल स्टाफ देंगे, स्किल स्टाफ की information देंगे that we have a skilled we can say human resource in order to support such facility. Condition to be met for the application, अभी वही चीज चल रही है, आगे चलते हैं और क्या इसमें रिक्वायरमेंट है, राइट? अभी तक कोई डाउट तो नहीं है ना आपको? ओ सॉरी, एमजी नरेगा, राइट अर्पण, थैंक यू फॉर करेक्टिंग, इट्स एमजी नरेगा. ओके, कोई डाउट तो नहीं अभी तक? ठीक है, ग्रेट. चलिए आगे पढ़ते हैं. व्हाट ऑल आर द कंडीशंस. सो बेसिकली बैंक मस्ट हैव अ गुड कंप्लायंस रिकॉर्ड, उनका अच्छा कंप्लायंस होना चाहिए. दे मस्ट कंप्लाई विद द आरबीआई रेगुलेशन दैट आर देयर फॉर द रेगुलेटेड एंटिटीज. ठीक है, अब वो कोई भी एंटिटी हो सकती है, कोऑपरेटिव हो सकती है, कमर्शियल बैंक हो सकती है. एज पर देयर रेगुलेटरी नॉर्म्स ऑफ द आरबीआई दे मस्ट कंप्लाई विद सच रूल्स. अगर वो अपने बेसिक कंप्लायंस नहीं कर रहे हैं फुलफिल, देन हाउ विल दे प्रोवाइड अ न्यू एप्लीकेशन फॉर द सेम, राइट? Also, they also have to comply with the cyber security guidelines and internal control system of the RBI. ठीक है, इस रूलिंग से जरूर कंप्लाई करना है, बिकॉज अगेन वी आर फोकसिंग ऑन डिजिटल बैंकिंग चैनल्स. सो फॉर दैट वी नीड टू हैव अ स्ट्रॉन्ग साइबर सिक्योरिटी प्रोटोकॉल्स फॉर द सेम. देन दिस विल बी असेस्ड यूजिंग व्हाट, अगेन GAICA report के through they will assess if there any kind of gap is there, something is missing it there, are their internal control good enough, they will give a report on the same. No major red flags in the information सिक्योरिटी ऑडिट इन पास्ट 2 years. तो उनका ऑडिट रिपोर्ट्स भी देखेंगे कि यहाँ पर पिछले 2 साल में कोई ऐसा मेजर रेड फ्लैग नहीं आया है इन देयर ऑडिटिंग प्रोसेसेस और इन देयर वी कैन से इंफॉर्मेशन सिक्योरिटी में. देन वी विल गिव अ फीडबैक रिगार्डिंग द सेम फ्रॉम द we will get a feedback regarding the same from the RBI supervisors. ठीक है, राइट. अब स्कोप ऑफ अप्रूवल क्या होगा, दैट अब अप्रूवल आपको मिल जाएगा, पर वो कैसे मिलेगा, इसके भी 2 आपके पास रीजंस है. फर्स्ट, अगर तो आपको बैंक को अप्रूवल मिल गया है न्यू गाइडलाइंस के अंदर, ठीक है, समझेंगे इस चीज को. अगर आपको ये न्यू गाइडलाइंस के अंदर अप्रूवल मिल गया है तो उसके बाद आप कितने भी तरह की बैंकिंग फैसिलिटी दे सकते हैं. डिजिटल बैंकिंग फैसिलिटी, मोबाइल बैंकिंग प्रोवाइड करवा रहे हैं आप, मोबाइल एप्स रिलीज कर रहे हैं आप, इंटरनेट बैंकिंग प्रोवाइड करवा रहे हैं. ठीक है, वो आप आगे और बढ़ा सकते हैं अपना. तो बेसिकली दे आर सेइंग यू कैन ऑफर ऑल टाइप्स ऑफ डिजिटल बैंकिंग चैनल्स इफ यू आर कंप्लाइंग विद सच न्यू गाइडलाइंस. फर्स्ट थिंग कह रहे हैं, अगर if a bank had approval for only one specific digital channel, मान लीजिए कोई पुराना बैंक था, उसको सिर्फ मोबाइल बैंकिंग के लिए ही अप्रूवल मिला था बिफोर द रिलीज ऑफ सच रेगुलेशन. तो अब उन्हें नए तरह का कोई भी बैंकिंग चैनल प्रोवाइड करने के लिए, मान लीजिए वो इंटरनेट बैंकिंग में जाना चाहते हैं, तो उसके लिए दे हैव टू रीअप्लाई, दे नीड टू गेट अ न्यू अप्रूवल फ्रॉम द आरबीआई. ठीक है, बिकॉज दे आर नॉट कंप्लाइंग विद सच न्यू रेगुलेशंस. ठीक है, आई होप इट इज क्लियर. सो दे हैव टू अप्लाई अगेन एंड गेट अ फ्रेश अप्रूवल फ्रॉम द आरबीआई फॉर द न्यू चैनल. अगर वो अब न्यू चैनल में जाना चाहते हैं, दे हैव टू रीअप्लाई. आगे देखते हैं, कस्टमर कंडक्ट एंड अदर इंस्ट्रक्शंस. अब नाउ द फोकस इज ऑन द कस्टमर्स, कि आप कस्टमर्स से कैसे डील करेंगे वेन एवर यू प्रोवाइडिंग सच डिजिटल बैंकिंग चैनल्स. ठीक है, फर्स्ट थिंग इज दैट बैंक मस्ट गेट अ क्लियर कंसेंट फ्रॉम द कस्टमर्स. आपको कस्टमर्स से कंसेंट लेनी पड़ेगी. देखिए, हम आपको ये सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करेंगे, दिस इज हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू डील विद यू. आपकी हमें कंसेंट चाहिए. ठीक है, द कस्टमर शुड अग्री विद ऑल द टर्म्स एंड कंडीशन. फर्स्ट थिंग. Second thing is the customer must be told that they will get SMS or email alerts regarding the transactions or non-financial and financial transactions. ठीक है, वो कह रहे हैं कस्टमर्स को आप बताइए कि आपको कौन कौन सी जगह पर अलर्ट्स मिलेंगे, SMS के थ्रू, ईमेल के थ्रू, फोन कॉल्स के थ्रू. आपको सभी तरह से बताया जाएगा कि आपने कौन सी ट्रांजेक्शन्स करी है. ठीक है, देन बैंक शुड ऑफर अ मल्टीपल वे टू रजिस्टर फॉर अ डिजिटल बैंकिंग सर्विसेज। वो कह रहे कोई एक तरीका नहीं होना चाहिए डिजिटल बैंकिंग चैनल को एक्सेस करने का। डिजिटल बैंकिंग, किसी भी डिजिटल बैंकिंग चैनल को एक्सेस करने का कस्टमर के लिए सिर्फ एक तरीका नहीं होना चाहिए कि आप पोर्टल पे जाके ही एक्सेस कर सकते हैं, नहीं। आप उसके लिए एप्लीकेशन भी देंगे, आप उसके लिए नंबर भी देंगे, आप उसके लिए वेबसाइट भी प्रोवाइड करवाएंगे, आप उसके लिए ब्रांच विजिट भी अलाउ कर सकते हैं। सो बेसिकली आपको हर तरह का मल्टीपल वे बताना है टू द कस्टमर सो दैट दे कैन एक्सेस द बैंकिंग चैनल in various way, right? So again we are focusing on saving their time and making it easy for them to use such digital banking facilities, right? Bank must provide a term and condition, ठीक है। जो भी टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस जो भी होंगी बैंक्स की, वो कस्टमर को सिंपल लैंग्वेज में बतानी है, इन हिंदी, इंग्लिश और इन देयर लोकल लैंग्वेज। जो भी उनकी लोकल लैंग्वेज है उसमें उनको समझानी है, शुड बी रिटन इन अ वेरी सिंपलर वे, ठीक है, सो दैट दे कैन अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट एग्जैक्टली द बैंक वांट फ्रॉम अस। देन वी हैव that must include the information regarding the charges कितने होंगे, how to stop the payment, customer support के लिए how they are going to access the bank we can say staff, what is the grievance redressal process, what is the risk and responsibility that a customer need to know before they get into such banking channels, ठीक है। ये क्लियर है? तो ये कुछ बेसिक चीजें हैं, राइट। What else? The bank must follow the RBI rules regarding protecting the customer from fraud, limiting their liability if something goes wrong, sending alert for every action whatever they make, giving information in line with the RBI approved terms. So basically ये कुछ ऐसी information है जो banks को साथ के साथ comply करना है with the RBI rules. ये वो rulings हैं, ये वो चीजें हैं जो हम कहीं ना कहीं अपनी day to day life में देखते ही देखते हैं कि हमारी तरफ से, बैंक की तरफ से कुछ ना कुछ आता रहता है कि अगर आपको इतने से ज्यादा की ट्रांजेक्शन करनी है then you have to provide a OTP, ठीक है, OTP किसी के साथ शेयर ना करें, all such things are a part of this, ठीक है। तो ये आप समझ सही है, मैं मान के चल रही हूँ, ठीक है। they have then we have no forcing digital banking, ठीक है। अब यहाँ पर कह रहे हैं कि बैंक कस्टमर को फोर्स नहीं करेगा to have this बैंकिंग, डिजिटल बैंकिंग फैसिलिटी, ठीक है। आप फोर्स नहीं करेंगे किसी कस्टमर को। अगर कोई कस्टमर मना कर रहा है दैट आई डोंट वांट टू गो फॉर सच वी कैन से बैंकिंग चैनल, हमें अच्छा नहीं लगता, वी आर नॉट कंफर्टेबल विद सच डिजिटल बैंकिंग चैनल्स, दे विल नॉट फोर्स इट, राइट। कस्टमर विल हैव अ फ्री चॉइस, इस चीज को याद रखेंगे। देन बैंक्स कैन कलेक्ट द मोबाइल नंबर, वो मोबाइल नंबर ले सकते हैं फॉर द KYC पर्पस एंड फॉर गिविंग अलर्ट SMS टू द कस्टमर्स। ये कुछ लास्ट चीजें हैं, लेट्स जस्ट अंडरस्टैंड। रिस्क कंट्रोल मस्ट बी अप्लाइड, बैंक मस्ट पुट अ लिमिट ऑन हाउ मच कैन बी ट्रांसफर्ड पर डे, पर वीक, पर मंथ, ठीक है। तो वो कह रहे हैं आप ये सर्विसेज जो प्रोवाइड करवा रहे हैं वी आर ओके विद इट, बट आपको अपने बैंकिंग लेवल पे यू हैव टू डिसाइड कि एक कस्टमर वो एक दिन में, एक वीक में, एक मंथ में कितना पैसा ट्रांसफर कर सकता है या फिर रिसीव कर सकता है। तो आपको ये लिमिट लगानी पड़ेगी इन ऑर्डर टू मिटिगेट योर रिस्क, इन ऑर्डर टू प्रोटेक्ट योरसेल्फ फ्रॉम सच रिस्क दैट मे कम अराइज फ्रॉम सच ट्रांजैक्शंस। बैंक मस्ट चेक द अनयूजुअल पैटर्न और स्पीड ऑफ ट्रांजैक्शन। अनयूजुअल और सस्पिशियस ट्रांजैक्शन को हमेशा ट्रैक करेंगे, मॉनिटर करते रहेंगे अपनी ट्रांजैक्शंस को। इफ देयर इज अ स्ट्रिक्टर रूल फॉर द RBI और a payment system like NPCI, Visa, then stricter rule must be followed. तो इसका बहुत ही आसान मतलब है, they are saying कि NPCI, Visa, इन सब की अपनी अपनी कुछ regulations होती है regarding such digital banking channels, right? अब वो कह रहे हैं कि अगर इनकी regulations और इनके rules ज्यादा stricter है than what we have set, तो हम उन्हीं रूल्स को स्टैंडर्ड सेट करेंगे। सो वी वांट थिंग्स टू बी स्ट्रिंजेंट और स्ट्रिक्टर फॉर सच बैंक्स, ठीक है। मोबाइल बैंकिंग मस्ट वर्क ऑन एनी नेटवर्क। ऐसा नहीं है कि आप एयरटेल पे ही, एयरटेल जो एयरटेल यूज कर रहे हैं, बैंक एयरटेल नेटवर्क यूज कर रहे हैं, सिर्फ आप उनको ही प्रोवाइड करवा रहे हैं बैंकिंग सर्विसेज, कि हम जियो नेटवर्क वालों को नहीं प्रोवाइड करवाते, हम वोडाफोन वालों को नहीं प्रोवाइड करवाते। ऑल सच थिंग्स मस्ट नॉट बी देयर, ठीक है। फ्री चॉइस होनी चाहिए, किसी भी नेटवर्क पे आपकी ये बैंकिंग सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड होनी चाहिए, डिजिटल बैंकिंग सर्विसेज। मॉनिटर फॉर फ्रॉड स्मार्टली, आपको स्मार्टली मॉनिटर करते रहना है। इफ देयर इज एनी काइंड ऑफ सस्पिशियस ट्रांजैक्शन, कोई आप देख रहे हैं दैट कस्टमर बिहेवियर इज सस्पिशियस इन नेचर, ट्रांजैक्शन अनयूजुअल है, एक्टिविटी इज अनयूजुअल, such thing must be monitored by you and you have to ask the customer first before completing the suspicious transaction, ठीक है। based on the fraud risk management policy, आपको उसे जरूर इन्फॉर्म करना पड़ेगा, see this is this we are witnessing in your transaction activity, this is how we have seen your record, tell us what exactly you are doing, right? You have to have a word with them so that they also have a chance to speak, ठीक है, ऐसा नहीं कि आप रेड फ्लैग कर रहे हैं हर तरह की ट्रांजेक्शन्स को बिफोर इवन टॉकिंग टू द कस्टमर्स। नो प्रमोशंस ऑफ ग्रुप प्रोडक्ट्स। मान लीजिए एचडीएफसी बैंक है, वो अपने डिजिटल बैंकिंग चैनल्स खोलना चाहता है, राइट। अब उसी का ही एचडीएफसी इंश्योरेंस कंपनी भी है। अब वो क्या कर रहा है, अपने ये प्रोडक्ट्स, इंश्योरेंस प्रोडक्ट्स जो है वहां पर वो कर रहा है, एडवर्टाइज कर रहा है, फोर्स कर रहा है कस्टमर्स को टू अप्लाई फॉर द सेम। तो वो कह रहे हैं ये नो प्रमोशन, देयर वुड बी नो प्रमोशन फॉर सच ग्रुप प्रोडक्ट्स। जो आपकी डिजिटल बैंकिंग सर्विसेज है, दैट इज ओनली फॉर डिजिटल बैंकिंग चैनल्स ओनली, services only. Okay, no other products will be promoted on such channels. ठीक है, so I hope आपने पढ़ा होगा अच्छे से. Let's just begin with the question answer session. देखते हैं आपको अच्छे से याद है कि नहीं. So basically, okay, so this asks for the March 2025 financial inclusion index का आपका score पूछ रहा है, right? So what do you think? What is the right answer? Sakram, the opening of account and KYC are complete different processes. They are not a part of your digital banking channels. Okay, they are not a part of we can say the digital banking channels. They are procedures that bank follow in order to open your account. Okay, so they are not your digital, we can say, banking uh, व्यू ओनली में नहीं आएगा वो. दे विल नॉट फॉल अंडर द ट्रांजेक्शन वन, नॉट ऑन द व्यू ओनली वन, because in view only you can just view your data, you can see your data, but you cannot submit anywhere, right? Okay, right, D is the right answer. D is the right answer. According to the RBI's latest release, which of the following parameters of financial inclusion index contributed to the most of the improvement in the financial inclusion index? तो कौन से पैरामीटर ने ज्यादा कंट्रीब्यूट किया है? सकराम, आई विल टेल यू आफ्टर दिस सेशन कि ये जो ऑनलाइन अकाउंट है, ऑनलाइन ओपनिंग ऑफ अकाउंट और ई के वाई सी वुड बी अंडर द व्यू ओनली और द ट्रांजेक्शन ओनली, बिकॉज आई ऑल्सो हैव दिस कंफ्यूजन. ओके, सो आई विल टेल यू, आई विल कंफर्म द आंसर फॉर दिस इन द आफ्टर द क्लास. ठीक है, ओके, सो राइट, E is the right answer, wherein B and C both are correct. Usage and quality are the one, right? Okay. Okay, Sakaram, thank you. Okay, we have a last question. Recently, RBI released uh, the draft regulation as a significant step towards the standardizing, regulating the growing digital banking ecosystem in the India. Before applying, the bank must meet the key eligibility criteria. Which of the following is the correct regarding the eligibility criteria? Bank should have a fully implemented core banking solution with IT system support. Bank must meet the minimum capital adequacy ratio, and they must have a net worth of 10 crore. This is incorrect. Okay, so which one is right? Right. B. 1 and 2 is correct. 1 and 2 is correct. Okay, good everyone. B is the right answer for the third one. Okay, so if you are planning to buy a course for RBI grade or grade B, we are offering a 6-month course, right? And we are offering a discount of up to 80% on the same. You can apply achiever code on that. If you have any kind of doubt regarding the same, you can just contact our counselors over here. The number is here, the email ID is here. You can if you have any kind of query, you can just ask them. They will try to resolve it as soon as possible. Okay, I hope the session was fruitful. I'll send you this we can say PPT of such I'll send you the PDF of such PPT on the Telegram, and the link is there in the description box for the Telegram. Okay, ma'am, please check question number 2. What's wrong? Everything is fine with this. ठीक है, अफसाना कोई डाउट तो नहीं है? यूसेज और क्वालिटी आर द वन जिनकी वजह से इस बार इंप्रूवमेंट आई है इन फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन इंडेक्स, राइट? तो बोथ बी एंड सी आर करेक्ट, तो हमारा ई ऑप्शन करेक्ट हो गया. ठीक है, अब तो कोई डाउट नहीं है. अगर क्लियर है तो क्लियर लिखेंगे इन द कमेंट सेक्शन. ओके, ग्रेट. ठीक है, सो आई होप द सेशन इज फ्रूटफुल फॉर यू. इन केस you have any kind of doubt, you can tell me in the comment section. I will try to resolve it as soon as possible. With this, goodbye everyone. Best of luck. तैयारी करते रहिए और एंग्शियस मत होइए, हेल्दी खाना खाइए, खुश रहिए और प्रिपेयर करते रहिए. ठीक है, गुड बाय एवरीवन. थैंक यू फॉर द पेशेंस. ओके, गुड बाय एवरीवन. बेस्ट ऑफ लक.